Hello team, today we're going to talk about scripting at the parcel level. So instead of focusing ourselves to one feature and what it can do and what it brings us, we're going to talk about the whole parcel as a whole. There's not much you can do yet. This is currently on version 1.15.2, and what you can do is you can get the when a player enters on the parcel, you can obtain that person's name and their wallet or any other information that player may have. Um, you can also obtain the list of players currently in the map, the number of players currently in the map. You can also get the list of features currently in the map. By the map, I mean the parcel. And yeah, so far that's pretty much what you can do, but there's no doubt that we'll be able to do some more later. So far, let's start with the first two things I want to focus on. Is It's the fact that when a player gets in the map, enters the parcel, a welcome message will appear. I'm showing that person's username, and here we'll have a counter that will show the number of players on the map. So I've got this wall here, and here I've got a box. So this is a text with box written on it, but I'm gonna put the script here. So what this does is this box will act as a server where all the scripting will be, and so that box would be what is going to listen to the parcel. So it's going to listen to anything that happens in the parcel. Yep. Cool. Alright, so let's start. So let's go to Replit and let's start typing our code. So first off, before actually writing our code, we want to make sure the IDs are right. So I've named this one welcome message, and this one is named, it doesn't have an ID. I'm going to call it num ID. Num ID, perfect. Cool. Alright, let's go to Replit. So let's go with let, I'll call it sign is equal to parcel. Come on. Parcel dot get feature by ID. It was welcome message. Sweet. The other one is let num ID equal to same thing. Num ID. Perfect. Cool. So I'm gonna start saying console log loading. And the reason for this is because that listening process actually takes exactly 1 minute to start. So you load the parcel, you get on the parcel, but it takes like 1 minute for it to actually load and actually listen to what's going on in the parcel. Before that, it doesn't take anything into account. Alright, cool. So how you do it is you start with fetch. I'm gonna put parcel ID. Let's make a new variable here. We're going to call it const. Parcel ID is equal to 670. So here you put your own parcel ID, obviously. I'm gonna put it parcel ID. Cool. So this is the parcel ID of mine. This is the ID of my parcel. Sorry. Dot then. I can't type tonight. Sweet. And then we enter a function. Curly brackets. Perfect. So now it fetches our parcel, and once it's loaded, we enter a function. So what happens then? We go parcel dot on player enter. Yep, there's an event for that. Oh, let's not forget the curly brackets again. Sweet. We want to put the name of that person into the sign. So sign dot set text two dots is equal to event, it's a dot user dot name. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so this actually just shows the username to it shows the username on that text box here. It replaces the text with it. Alright, sweet. So let's go further. We're gonna go with set interval. What we're doing right now is we're trying to display the number of players in the map, in the parcel, every couple seconds. So every 2 seconds, for example. Let's go with num id is equal to set text parcel dot get players dot length. Right, sweet. So what that does is we obtain we haven't finished that actually. Let me finish it to make it a bit better to read. Alright, so every 2 seconds we set that other text box to the length of that array. So parcel.getPlayers returns an array. So you'll have, for example, if you have 5 players, you'll have 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and each of these it's an array of arrays pretty much, and you've got pretty much like a dictionary. And so within one array you've got the information of that player, and then the second row you've got that other player with all this information within it. And so we want to get the length of that main array of get players, and so that will return the number of players within the map, within the parcel. Yep, so that's pretty much it. Now we want to make sure the box is listening to what's going on. So let port equal parcel dot listen, and then I'll type in console dot log listening to port 300. So that port here is the default port of Cryptovoxels. We can't change it if I'm correct. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it is the default port. I'm just typing it here to remind myself sometimes that it is this port. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It looks alright. Let's copy and paste it. Alright, get there. Cool. Yeah, let's try that. I'm gonna open the dev console so I can see properly what's going on. Alright, so as soon as it shows the loading, we have to count 1 minute. So from that loading, I'm gonna wait 1 minute now. Alright, perfect. So it's now listening to port 3800. There seems to be no problem going on with it. So let's see if anything appears. So here we have 1. It's the number of players currently in the parcel, which is me. And we have welcome here. So now if I leave, the 1 should turn to 0. Yep, there we go. And then if I get in the parcel, it shows my name. And this one goes back to 1. So everything is working fine, so that's perfect. Alright, so now let's say the player is about to leave, right? So we got the code so that he gets in the parcel, but what about when he leaves? So what we'll do is, first off, I'm going to make another text box here. I'm going to call it welcome. Welcome. I'm going to put hello sign. Cool. Right, so let's go back to Replit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the sign first, and it was called hello sign. and here hello sign. Nice. Alright, so back in the fetch, I'm just gonna put some indent here, make it better, easily readable. Alright, so it's pretty much the same as play on entries. I can just copy this code and put it there, but then you have to replace player enter to player leave. Sweet. So for some reason you won't be able to get the username when that player leaves. I'll explain to you. I'll explain that later, and as to why I actually don't know yet. So first up, we want to go with replace this with hello sign. So we want to set the sign to something else. That sign is going to say goodbye. I'm just going to copy this and put it there, and that sign is going to say welcome. Cool. So this, when the player enters, is gonna say welcome and the username. Here, because the username is not going to change, we're saying goodbye, and that username will still be there. So that's pretty much it. Let's copy this and paste it in the box. Yep, and refresh. Let's open the dev console so I can see what's going on. Alright, it's loading, so let's wait 1 minute. Alright, sweet, so we're finally listening to the port. Let's go have a look. So we've got my name here and everything, because that's the text that was there before. So if I leave, it changes to goodbye. Now there's 0 player on the parcel, and now if I get in, it's welcome, and that goes back to 1. So here I should have changed the text to something else, to text or whatever, so we can actually see the difference happening. But in this case, yeah, I'll just made a mistake. Cool. So yeah, but so now let's say you want to get the list of features in the map. We can't really show that. What I can do is I can get the type of a Vox model, for example, or the type of a feature. So it's put text there so I can see that. So type feature. Sweet. There we go. We've got our text there. So now if I do that, I can just go let type f is equal to parcel.getFeature by ID type feature. Perfect. Everything goes down. We've fetched that. Alright, cool. And then I can just go, I don't even have to go all the way there. I can just go, I'll put it in there just in case. Type f dot set text to something. I'm not gonna say what now. Let's make a variable first. So I'm gonna call it I'm gonna call it var actually. Call var text type is equal to type f. Should call it something else. Sign type f dot what am I doing? Sign type dot parcels. I'm so sorry, I was a bit confused here. So we start from the parcel, then we go get features. Yeah, that sounds right. Just making sure if there's an S or not. Not quite sure. I guess we'll test. Get features, then that will return an array. So we want to make sure we select 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or I, if we want to iterate through them. Let's go with 1, just to make sure I can check in the dev console. If I go parcel and then features, I've got all my arrays here. So from 0, 1, 2, 3, blah blah to 23. So number 1 is apparently a sign that says failure. So I'm gonna get the type of that sign. So how do I do that? I go parcel dot get features number 1, dot type, and then text here is going to be equal to sign type, and yeah, we're good. So let's save that. I mean, Control C, Control V. Don't forget that we're talking about the box here. So the box is what's going to have all our script, and now we have to refresh, and again we'll have to wait 1 minute after the loading. Sweet as, we're now listening, so let's go have a look, and it shows us sign, so that's the type of the sign. So that's not, well, I mean, that's what we expected, so there's no real surprise here, but at least it's working. So there you go. So now let me leave and let me get back in. Yep, sweet. There's something I wanted to mention about that. To get the name of the person, this is currently the only way you can get it. You can only get the name of the person getting into your parcel, as the other way did not work yet. So I've made this picture that I'm going to share in the description of the video, where if you want to obtain the player info through the features, so when you click on something there's an event, that event's got a player object in it, and from that player object you can get the name in the wallet. However, that name and that wallet will be shown as anonymous and the wallet will be empty. However, if you go on the parcel level, so just what we did, if you use the player object from the event of player leave, it's going to be anonymous. But if you use, as we just did, um, the player object of the event from player entry, you're actually going to get the player's name and its wallet number, the player's wallet number. All the other events and objects actually return nothing or anonymous and an empty wallet. So I think this is a bit of an inconsistency that I'm going to talk to Ben uh, about. I'm going to talk about it, and I guess it might get corrected in future updates, which I'm pretty excited about. So that's cool. Yeah.